Now I've got a couple of jobs that I want to get done today, but in this video I'm going to be replacing the rear control arms, and it's these rear control arms in particular. So if you don't know, these actually are used to adjust the rear toe alignment. So basically I went for a wheel alignment at Quick Fit about a week ago now, I think, and the guy who was adjusting the alignment tried to do the rear toe adjustment, because on the one side, I think it was on the right side, the driver's side, so that is the offside rear, the eccentric bolt was actually seized into this hole, and when he was turning the nut to adjust the toe, like the whole bolt was just moving. So it basically means that I either had to try and like drill it out and get a new bolt, or I needed a new arm and then a new bolt anyway. So yeah, I just decided just to get complete new arms. Obviously only one side is bad, but I always think it's the best idea to just change both sides when it comes to suspension components. Never just cheap out and just, you know, change one side. Always change things in pairs. So I've got both sides. I'm going to be changing the offside and the near side. And yeah, I've actually went ahead and got some Febby Bilstein control arms, proper Febby Bilstein control arms. I've never had any problems with the quality in the past. They're a good reputable company, so obviously I could have went out and got some Lem Forder parts. Probably would have been double the price rather. But the reason that I actually decided to get the Febby Bilstein ones is because they came with this little kit. So they actually came with the eccentric bolts and the washers and everything that you need. Now, no other kit online actually came with this that I could find. You know, if I was to buy the Lem Forder ones, obviously it'd be double the price, and then I'd need to buy this kit anyway. So yeah, I decided to get the Febby Bilstein ones. And yeah, that's going to be today's first job, is to install both sides on these. I've never done it before. I'm guessing it's just going to be a case of taking a few bolts out, but obviously we'll see when we get there. But let's get outside, let's get the car in the air, and let's see what we're working with. Okay then, so rear of the car is off the ground now. I'll just show you where I've put the axle stands. Put two on the rear subframe as far apart as possible. I've also put one each side just as a safety precaution on the chassis rail. Let's get the wheels off now, and it's also going to be a good opportunity to use my new impact wrench. This thing is huge, a lot bigger than the smaller one I have. But yeah, I'm guessing that this should take the wheel bolts off no problem, but we'll soon find out anyway. Easy peasy. Okay then, so the control arm that we need to replace today is this one right here. So at this end, where it joint onto the hub, it has a ball joint, and there should be a nut on the back, and then at this end, this is where the eccentric bolt is, and that's the one that's seized in. So obviously I've got to remove that bolt, remove it from that side, and then take this ball joint side out. But I'm going to spray both sides with plenty of WD-40 just to make it a little bit easier getting the bolts out. But yeah, this is the one in question anyway, so let's get cracking. Okay then, so this nut here on the end of this ball joint, there's actually not enough space to even get a socket on, so looks like I'm going to have to do it with a spanner or a wrench, whatever you want to call it. But this is just going to be so rusted on, and that seems a little bit loose, but it's definitely a 17, I'm sure it is. Let me try 16. Oh, that 16 actually goes on better. So why didn't the 16mm socket go on? Okay then, so managed to crack it loose with the spanner, or wrench, whatever you want to call it. Now, it won't just undo like a regular nut. You actually have to put another spanner on the end, which is a 7mm. That goes on the end, and then what I've done, I've knocked it so far down that it's only gonna then push the small one onto the hub, and then obviously I can then undo the nut with the big 16mm wrench then. So yeah, it's just gonna be a case of undoing it now. Alright, we got the nut out. Okay then, so this is the setup on this side. Got a 16mm spanner on the nut on the end, and obviously because when I go to undo that, the whole thing just spins. I've got a 16mm socket and a brake bar on this end, which I need to jam up there, so now obviously I can undo the nut then. So yeah, let's get going. Right then, so had to remove the wheel liner because access to this nut at the end is not great, so may have to just grind the end off and just pull the bolt out. I say pull the bolt out as if it's going to be easy, but obviously it's not because it's all seized in. But yeah, should have a little bit better access. Not great because the filler pipe for the fuel tank's there. But I should have just enough room to get that nut off the end there. Just turning the bolt now. Oh, yeah, switch back on that in then. Does that feel loose now? Yeah, but is it stripped or not? There we go. Got it off. Probably just yeah, if I push down on it, will it pull out now? Okay then, so we managed to get the old control arm off with a little help from my dad. So tight in there that the nut, where is it? This nut came off the old bolt, and it was just so tight in there. As you can see, it's rusted and corroded and all sorts, so that's just garbage now. Obviously we've got the new one. The funny thing is, there wasn't a washer on the original one. So this is the new bolt and it comes with the washer, and obviously it fits on the bolt correctly, but there wasn't one on there originally, which is strange. So I guess that didn't help. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is clean up this general area with some degreaser. Just makes sense while I have the access, you know, clean up the both parts where it makes contact with the hub and the subframe, and then we'll go ahead and install the new one. There we go. Okay then, so the rear eccentric bolt and nut is fully tightened now. Just doing the nut on the front for the ball joint. Okay then, so there's going to be a case of putting the wheel arch liner back in, and then that is this side done, and then it's just a case of doing the complete same on the other side. Okay then, so this side wheel arch liner is back on, wheels back on. Let's go ahead, do the complete same with the other side. I'm not going to bother showing you doing the exact same on the other side because, like I said, it's exact same, so it'd just be a pointless exercise. But I'm going to go ahead, get that done as quick as possible, and then we'll wrap this video up. And that is also this side done, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see now. You can see some shiny aluminium. That's that side done. And I just want to say, this side was like 10 times easier. It literally took me 2-3 minutes to take the old one off, and then like 5 minutes to put the new one on. I didn't have to take the wheel arch liner out. It was a lot easier because the bolt wasn't seized on. And yeah, I guess once I knew how to do it, it's literally just you know, really simple then. So that literally took a total of about, I don't know, 7-8 minutes. So yeah, job done anyway. Thing I've noticed though, the rear toe is way out now. I just hope it's going to be okay to drive. You can see, obviously the wheels are supposed to be straight, but they're pointing in, I'm pretty sure, on both sides as well. So if you have a look, yeah, so the wheels are pointing in slightly. This side is probably the worst though, but obviously when I get the wheel alignment done, they'll be adjusted and they'll be just spot on. So yeah, job done pretty much. Okay then, so another job done then. We have changed both of the rear toe adjusting control arms, and yeah, pretty successful. Obviously it took you know, took a fair bit of time to get the first one off, which was the one with the seized bolt in, but after that the other side was literally like I said, you know, done within 10 minutes. So it's one of those jobs, once you know how to do, you know, it'll just be a piece of cake once you've done it a couple of times. So right then, I'm going to wrap this video up. I am going to make a new video where I'm going to be changing both of the rear trap rods and trap rod ends, because I want to do them. They're actually seized as well, the adjusting nuts on them, they're seized, so I need to get them done before I go and take my car to be tracked. It is to be noted, you know, before you get your car properly aligned, you know, don't, you know, go driving your car around. You're just going to put excessive wear on your tires, and as you may know, BMW tires, you know, because the sheer size of them, they're very expensive, so you don't want to be putting you know, excessive wear on them. And that's kind of the reason why I want to get my whole car aligned properly. But yeah, the only time that I'm going to be driving this is when I'm going to be driving it to the garage to get the alignment done. I've actually got another car, so I'll be just driving that in the meantime. So hopefully get this booked in sometime next week, and yeah, it's just going to feel like a lot better once all my wheels are, you know, completely straight and aligned and everything. But like I said, I'm wrapping this up now. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, and I will see you guys in that next video. Peace.